Hey Boozers, and welcome to the next installment of Booze Reviews. Tonight I've got a beer from Maybe Brew. It's a Clockwork double IPA coming at 8.3% alcohol by volume. Probably don't think it's gonna be, well, it's unfiltered, unpasteurized, and product of Canada. It's out of Fredericton, New Brunswick. And yeah, really not much for the can. It's batch 259. But it looks like it could be a very decent beer overall. While we get into it. Oh! Okay. It's alive! It's definitely unfiltered and unpasteurized. Alright. I don't know how it's going to turn out. So, what we've got here is failure to communicate. No, just kidding. It is a semi-hazy beer, translucent. 3 fingers worth of head off there because of the fact that it was alive. There might still be stuff inside that might get a little chunky. Did not get a chance to swirl it. The smell. Getting that sweet sort of malt smell. Sort of like a candy malt. Yeah, it smells. It's a little touch of a peach. But you're getting sort of a candy malt off there. Yeah, okay. Smells okay. Cheers, everybody. So you do have that sweetness from the malt. It does give off that sort of sweet candy taste for a little bit, then gets bitter from the hops. Do have a small alcohol burn in there. Kind of reminds me, weirdly enough, of the Old Cellar Dweller from Driftwood. It has sort of like, when it's absolutely fresh and it hasn't been sitting in a bottle for a little bit, it gives off this sort of double IPA taste and flavor. That's definitely a good double IPA. It's the older style, not juicy hopped IPA. It does have that bitterness on there. It does has that sort of acidicness on the back of your throat too. It's actually pretty damn good. Mind you of the old school beers. Bitterness, though. There's that little bit of bitterness on there. The IBUs are up there. Offhand, this isn't a bad beer. I don't mind this. It's pretty good. Again, hopefully I'm not going to see chunks in the rest of my beer, as it was very alive when I opened it up. Let's find out. I saw something fall down there. Yeah, it doesn't look bad at all. I don't see a lot of yeast strains in there, so that's a good sign. All right. Flavor didn't change at all. Still has it there. But it is getting a little bit easier to drink with each mouthful. That bitterness sticks on the back of my tongue and makes a sort of like a stickiness with my saliva. It's a good double IPA. We're talking old school stuff. They're just talking the stuff that I didn't like before and I'm not a big fan of still today. But it still works. It's still a very solid double IPA. It's got some good flavor notes to there. It's got a good bitterness. It's got some good, just some basic notes that you would want in a standard double IPA. Very well done. Very well done indeed. Well, folks, have you had this one before? Do you like it? Do you not like it? This is my first beer from this brewery. And I have to say, I'm not insulted, or I'm not upset, or I'm not disappointed in this beer. It actually has some great qualities for a double IPA, and it actually takes you back to the old school IPAs that we've had. You know, ones where you didn't have a lot of different hop varieties and everything else. You just had something like this. It gives you a style of the classics, which is strange because craft beer's only really been around for less than a decade. Well, just over a decade pretty much. But it still gives you that really good double IPA quality. Till next time, I am PK saying cheers, stay frosty. We'll see you real soon. Thanks again for joining. You guys have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful night. Thanks again.